Indiana Fever HC hints change in Caitlin-Clark utility as Aari McDonald brings double choice. No doubt, it has been a smooth run for the Indiana Fever without Caitlin-Clark this time, as the team not only clinched the Commissioner's Cup title for the first time, but also rode a 3-game win streak. However, the momentum came to a halt recently when the LA Sparks handed the Fever an 89-87 loss, forcing head coach Stephanie White to reset things from where they started. Hey, what's up, Bigfoot? Hey, Katie White? How did you hear about my coach? Does Stuff and Phil pocket happy? Not in an acid experiment, they had a Canadian study come by. They switched his and set the Fever to the 98-36 Phil to 99-14. However, the momentum came to a halt recently when the LA Sparks handed the Fever an 89-46, when he was the one to receive it. Hey, that's on them. That's their, we've got to protect our paint, White shared a newly. After Clark's quad strain, the Fever signed McDonald to an emergency hardship contract, but had to let her go once Clark was cleared to return. Then came the groin injury, sidelining Clark again. This time, however, the Fever made a different move and released the veteran, Dawana Bonner, which created the roster space to re-sign McDonald on June 28 for the rest of the season. This means that Cece and Aari have yet to share the court during a game, but once Clark returns, they will, and it could change everything. And White knows it too. I think it will be really good for us to be able to get Caitlin off the ball a little bit more in certain situations. And playing on the floor with Aari gives her the opportunity to do that, White said, per an ex-post from Matthew Peterson. He said, White knows that this distance feels better for her, and for what the media said this week, an ex-post from Matthew Peterson, and yes, it would be really good. Earlier in the season, Clark shouldered heavy playmaking responsibilities, which led to visible fatigue and a shooting slump as she went 1 for 28 from beyond the arc over one stretch. But with Aari on the roster, more spot-up opportunities could ease that burden. I mean, why not? Aari is just the kind of player who can make that happen. And if you still have any doubt, then consider that even in her first game off the bench under a hardship contract, she posted 7 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals in 27 minutes, showcasing energy, defense, and court vision that can take some of the load off Clark. But what makes this all even more real is what's happening in scrimmages. McDonald is setting the offense at point guard while Clark plays off the ball, trading some of those minutes where Clark isn't initiating every possession, giving her both rest and offensive balance. After all, Aari has started each of the past 3 games in Clark's absence, and she's filled that role well. She's fast, shifty, and can push the pace, much like Clark, and is also a gritty defender despite being just 5'6". Now you understand what White meant. I think it can give a break. I think it can get her and our team different looks when that happens. So this is really the first time we've been able to practice that, and I look forward to exploring it a little bit more, White added. So now with Clark close to returning, White is working to find significant minutes for Aari. That's why the Fever ran multiple offensive sets on Monday featuring both players. McDonald bringing the ball up as the point guard, with Clark operating off the ball. I think it's going to be fun, McDonald said. I think that with Caitlin and I working to perform with each other, we're going to create more shots for ourselves and for others around us. Just expect a lot of fast pace and a lot of ball movement. So Cece will still be the primary point guard when she returns, of course. But throughout the season, White has been trying to find more off-ball opportunities for her. And with McDonald's fast-paced nature and complementary offensive style, she may be the perfect partner to help make that happen. But is it really that easy? Do Caitlin-Clark and co. have an edge over the Valkyries? Well, the upcoming game between the Indiana Fever and GSV isn't another mid-season matchup. It's because with only 4 contests left before the All-Star break, both teams are hovering around .500 and the standings are tight. Now, the Fever sit at 9-9 while the Valks are coming off back-to-back losses and are in the middle of a tough 4-game road trip. This is the kind of game that could quietly shake up the playoff picture, and Indiana might be getting reinforcements right when they need them most. Caitlin-Clark is expected to return after missing 5 games with a groin injury. Sure, she was in a bit of a shooting slump before that, but let's be honest, she still delivers 18.2 points, 5 rebounds, and nearly 9 assists per game. Her return, tentatively set for Wednesday, could be the spark the team needs. But that's not all, as Damiris Dantas is also expected to be back in the lineup after missing 5 games while playing for the Brazilian national team. Well, she's on fire too, averaging 21.5 points over her final stretch with the national team. And although her season stats are at 5 points and 2.8 boards in 13 games, her size, shooting touch, and versatility add a lot to Indiana's front court. So, will it all come together instantly? Probably not perfectly, but this game is the right time to start figuring it out. The Indiana Fever's season has been a whirlwind of expectations, headlines, and adjustments. And now, it appears, a new chapter is unfolding. Head coach Christy Sides, known for her tactical mind and player-first approach, has dropped a subtle but significant hint about a potential shift in how the team plans to use rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. And the catalyst? None other than Aari McDonald, whose recent performances have not only ignited sparks on the court, but ignited strategic fires in the coaching room. The next big thing, stay tuned. The head coach, whether she likes it or not, will forever be remembered and encouraged. What's that? Said coach. The Clark conundrum. Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA carrying the weight of college stardom and fanfare, unlike anything the league has seen in decades. Her shooting range, court vision, and ability to create from chaos made her the obvious engine of the Fever offense. But as the league's physicality and defensive depth began to press her at every possession, Clark's usage became predictable, if not unsustainable. Every team threw traps, face guards, and blitzes her way, limiting her efficiency and testing her durability. Coach Sides, always one to adapt, hinted this week in a press conference that a change in utility may be on the horizon for Clark. Though she didn't spell out the details, her words carried the weight of both a challenge and an opportunity. We want to give Caitlin the best chance to play freely and not carry every possession on her shoulders, Sides said. With Aari bringing a new kind of tempo and control, it opens up choices we didn't have before. Enter the double choice. Aari McDonald has been electric off the bench and now increasingly from the starting unit. Her pace, perimeter defense, and underrated playmaking have added layers to the Fever's offensive identity. But more than that, she's created what Sides calls a double choice scenario for opposing defenses. With McDonald handling more point guard duties, Clark could be used more as an off-ball threat, running off screens, spotting up, or even serving as a decoy to manipulate defensive rotations. That opens up dual initiator sets, fast breaks where either can push the tempo, and a fluid offense where responsibility is shared, not dumped on one person's shoulders. Imagine having 2 guards who can break down a defense in completely different ways, Sides said. That's the puzzle we're excited to solve. Off-ball Clark, a scary sight. If Clark thrives in this revised role, it could be game-changing. While many remember her jaw-dropping logo threes, seasoned observers know Clark's footwork, IQ, and off-ball movement are just as elite. In college, she often found open shots not just from dribbling into space, but slipping through defensive gaps like water through fingers. She reads defenders before the pass is even thrown. Pair that with McDonald's ability to collapse defenses with her dribble penetration, and you have a 2-headed monster that's both fast and surgical. One Fever insider put it plainly: you give Caitlin Clark even half a step of daylight off the ball, and the scoreboard is going to light up like Times Square.